And there are a lot of Browns fans who are here today, and he was signing some autographs. His dad, of course, was here. There he is, cowboy hat and all.
I've never seen him play without me coaching him. You got to be ready when it's time. So he understood that whole conversation, and he wanted to talk to Shedeur as well as he wanted to talk to me. I've never sat on the bench and said, well, I learned a lot today.
There were Browns fans everywhere today, and Shedeur Sanders was out there signing autographs while his dad watched with that proud look only Coach Prime can give. You could feel the energy, but behind that excitement, the Cleveland Browns locker room was turning into a full-blown powder keg. And somehow, Deion Sanders ended up lighting the whole thing without even trying. Deion has officially had enough, and when you hear what just went down between him and Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, you'll understand why the entire NFL is glued to this situation like it's the season finale of their favorite show. This stopped being only about football real quick. This is about respect, family, and a father watching his grown son get treated like he's disposable by people who don't even realize the talent they have right in front of them. Cleveland is running wild right now, and the whole scene is straight chaos. Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round pick, walked in with folks saying he was overdrafted, acting like his name was carrying him more than his skill. Then he joins the NFL's most unlucky quarterback franchise and pulls off something nobody wearing a Browns uniform has done in almost 30 years. He wins his first game, and he didn't just win. He dropped throws so clean they had Myles Garrett staring at the Jumbotron with his jaw hanging like he had just witnessed something unreal.
They're down at 8. Here comes the pressure. Running away from it is Sanders. He's looking long. He's got a man. Caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Browns.
Let's go. Oh. Let's get catch, boy. Wow.
Myles Garrett, a defensive monster who usually doesn't care what the offense is doing because he's too busy holding the team together, literally stopped and reacted in public to a rookie's throw. That's how sharp Shedeur's plays were, and it only gets wilder. After just 1 week running with the first-team offense, Shedeur walks out there and throws passes Browns fans haven't seen completed since the Clinton era. Then he becomes the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut since 1995, finally ending a rough 17-game losing streak for rookie starters. So what does Kevin Stefanski do after this breakout performance? Does he step up and say Shedeur is the starter moving forward? Does he give the young man credit for possibly saving the coach's job and giving the whole city a spark of hope for the first time in forever? Not at all. Instead, he dodges the question completely. He drops the same recycled coach talk about not getting ahead of ourselves and focusing on today's work. It was unbelievable. Now think back to when Dillon Gabriel was struggling hard week after week, leading the Browns to a tough 1-4 record in his starts. Reporters asked Stefanski if Gabriel was still the starter after those rough performances. Did he hesitate? Did he stall? Did he say he needed time? Not even close. He confirmed Gabriel instantly, full commitment, no pause, nothing. And that's exactly why Deion Sanders reportedly snapped when he heard about this situation, because the double standard is crystal clear and it smells worse than something left out in the heat for a week straight. Kevin Stefanski is acting like Shedeur Sanders is nothing more than a temporary patch, just a quick fix until something better shows up. He treats Shedeur like he has to prove himself every single day, while Dillon Gabriel gets all the benefit of the doubt even after multiple rough games. And that right there is why Coach Prime is fired up and ready to speak out. Now let me break down exactly what went down on that Las Vegas field that everyone can't stop talking about. Shedeur Sanders stepped into a situation that would have crushed most new players. He's standing behind an offensive line that struggles to protect him. And still he walked in with confidence like he was built for this moment.
That's the first time I've ever watched him play without me on the sideline. I've never seen him play without me coaching him. So that was strange, but it was good and it was healthy.
And then someone drops that wild quote in the middle of the conversation. God damn, that is a good quote. But moving past that, this team is sitting at 3-8, and their fans have been through so much disappointment that they can barely remember what real hope feels like. Shedeur had been running the scout team for weeks, barely getting meaningful reps, and then suddenly he gets just 1 week of practice with the starters. Even with every disadvantage stacked against him, this man stepped onto that field and looked like he belonged right away. His numbers don't tell the full story. 11 completions on 20 attempts for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. It looks solid on paper, but nothing crazy. But once you watch the actual tape and understand the pressure, the situation, and the timing, you realize something special went down in Las Vegas. That 52-yard bomb to Isaiah Bond wasn't just a highlight. It was a statement. While rolling out to his right to dodge pressure, he launched a pass that landed perfectly into tight downfield coverage. Even Kevin Stefanski said it was a very hard throw. Translation: most quarterbacks in the league can't pull that off, and a rookie making his first start with almost no prep definitely isn't supposed to. Then came the 66-yard touchdown to D'Onta Foreman. It looked like a simple dump-off behind the line of scrimmage, just 6 yards back. And critics instantly tried to say it was all catch and run and that Shedeur shouldn't get much credit. But here's the real question. If it's so easy, why hasn't Cleveland been doing it all season? If tossing a screen for a 66-yard score is simple, why did it take Shedeur Sanders one single start to spark that type of big play? Because he threw it on time. He put it exactly where his playmaker could take off and do damage. He made the right read and delivered it with precision, something the Browns' offense had been missing with Gabriel running things. And honestly, the numbers could have looked even crazier. Jerry Jeudy dropped what should have been a huge gain on a perfect rollout throw from Shedeur Sanders, and that play would have changed the whole stat sheet. If he catches that ball, we're talking about a rookie quarterback throwing for well over 250 yards and possibly leading another scoring drive. But even with things going wrong that were completely out of his control, Shedeur still delivered enough fire to prove he belongs out there. He earned the respect of Myles Garrett, the trust of the entire locker room, and most importantly, he earned the right to start again. But Kevin Stefanski refuses to just say it straight up. On Monday, Stefanski finally confirmed that Shedeur would start against the San Francisco 49ers, but he only did it after hedging everything with a week-to-week evaluation speech that felt way too cautious. He said Shedeur deserved another shot because the most important job for a quarterback is to win, and he was glad Shedeur got his first win. He mentioned how young quarterbacks need to get better every week, which sounds nice, but there's a big problem with that. He never put Dillon Gabriel under this kind of microscope, even when Gabriel led the offense into complete irrelevance. Gabriel was treated like the unquestioned starter. No pressure, no doubts, no weekly reevaluations. And that's when Deion Sanders stepped into the picture. And trust me, Coach Prime is not staying quiet about any of this. Deion has made it clear to people around the league that he sees exactly what's going on in Cleveland, and he's not going to sit back and watch his son get treated unfairly. This isn't some overprotective dad situation. Deion Sanders played in this league at the highest level. He knows exactly how the politics inside an NFL building can make or break a young player's confidence and career. And right now, he's watching Shedeur deal with a double standard so obvious it's driving him up the wall. Word going around, supposedly coming straight from people close to Deion, is harsh but simple. That's rude. And honestly, when you look at everything happening, it's tough to argue with that take. A lot of scouts and analysts believe Shedeur Sanders should have been drafted way higher than the 5th round, and the way he's being handled right now only proves why so many people think he's being undervalued. Drafting Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round already felt like a slap in the face to a lot of people, and then Cleveland put him behind Dillon Gabriel and veteran Dorian Thompson-Robinson on the depth chart. He got stuck running the scout team for weeks, basically being treated like a practice squad quarterback instead of an actual draft pick. The only reason he finally touched the field was because Gabriel got hurt. And that's wild considering the talent he clearly brings. And even after winning his first start and showing more spark in one game than the Browns' offense had shown in weeks, he's still being treated like he's auditioning for a temporary role instead of being trusted with the keys to the team. This whole situation has turned into a serious point of tension, so let's break down what running the scout team really means. When you're on the scout team, your whole job is to pretend to be the other team's offense so the defense can practice. You're not learning your own team's playbook. You're not getting reps with the starting offensive line. You're not building chemistry with your starting receivers. You're basically a live dummy so the defense can sharpen their skills, while the real starting quarterback gets all the meaningful reps. That's normal for a veteran backup, someone who's been in the league for years, already knows the system, and doesn't need constant practice reps. But for a rookie quarterback who has never played an NFL snap and needs every chance to grow, learn, and develop, that's almost unfair. Some analysts tried to excuse it by saying backup quarterbacks don't usually get first-team reps, but here's the truth. They're talking about veteran backups who don't need the reps. Those guys can step in any time because they've already seen every look a defense can throw at them. That's not Shedeur Sanders. He's a rookie draft pick who could be the future of the franchise. Instead, he spent weeks getting zero meaningful development time, then got thrown into a starting job with only 1 week of preparation, and still performed. That says everything about his natural talent and mental toughness, but it also makes you question what Cleveland is doing when it comes to developing their young players. This is exactly why Deion Sanders is furious. It's clear his son has the skill and the poise to play at this level. He just proved it against the Raiders. Cleveland hasn't had a quarterback with this type of arm talent in years. Shedeur stayed calm under pressure like a seasoned vet, something even experienced quarterbacks in this league struggle with. He showed he can throw the deep ball down the sideline, fire tight window throws, and drop a perfectly timed screen pass that turns into a big play. He has the tools, and that's exactly why Coach Prime isn't letting this situation slide. Shedeur Sanders pulled all of this off with almost no preparation and a shaky offensive line during his first NFL start on the road in a straight-up hostile environment. And instead of getting real praise and the long-term commitment his performance deserved, he's being told he has to prove himself again next week and the week after that, with no promise of anything solid. Meanwhile, Stefanski was backing Dillon Gabriel, a solid quarterback, sure, but nowhere near Shedeur's level. And yeah, the team was losing with Gabriel, yet people kept pointing to his 59.2% completion rate compared to Shedeur's 55% in his debut. But completion percentage doesn't tell you anything about the difficulty or impact of the throws. Gabriel was hitting short, safe passes that looked clean on paper, but didn't move the offense anywhere. Shedeur was out there firing deep shots, placing the ball where playmakers could actually do damage, and pushing the limits of what Cleveland's passing game could be. That's the difference between a game manager and someone who might be your future franchise quarterback. And the physical difference shows too. Shedeur is bigger than Gabriel, stronger, and he has an arm that can stretch the field like nothing Cleveland has had in years. He can make every throw an NFL offense needs right now. Deep sideline shots, off-platform throws, tight window lasers, and smooth passes on the move. That kind of natural arm talent can't be coached. These were the exact traits scouts kept talking about when he was at Colorado. People were confused when he fell to the 5th round, and in just one start, he reminded everyone why folks originally thought he might go way higher before the draft process pushed him down the board. You can even see how the locker room feels based on Myles Garrett's reaction after the game.
And I'm just like, wow, there's not many guys in the league that can make that throw. So I mean, that was a hell of a throw. I hope he can continue to grow and develop for making plays like that, and he'll take it from there.
Garrett has been through every quarterback drama this team has had, and that's 42 different starters since 1999. Yet after watching Shedeur, he looked genuinely fired up. That kind of excitement from a veteran leader like Garrett says a lot about what this kid brought to the field. Myles Garrett's quote said everything. There's not many guys in the league that can make that throw. That was a hell of a throw. I hope he can continue to grow and develop from making plays like that. That wasn't just polite praise. That was a superstar defender recognizing that his team might finally have something real at the most important position in all of sports. And that picture of Myles Garrett staring up at the video board, eyes wide, looking genuinely shocked at what Shedeur had just pulled off. That moment lit up the entire locker room. Defensive players want to feel like their effort actually counts. They want to know that when they hold teams to low scores, their offense can step in and finish the job. Cleveland hasn't had that feeling in forever. The defense would grind, dominate, and then the offense would go 3 and out over and over again. But now that Shedeur is running the show, everything looks different. Suddenly big plays feel possible. Suddenly the offense feels like a weapon instead of a weight dragging the team down. And this is exactly why everyone watching this saga is frustrated that Kevin Stefanski still won't fully commit to Shedeur Sanders. Stefanski had no hesitation calling Dillon Gabriel the clear starter, even while the team was losing game after game with him behind center. Even when the offense looked flatlined, even when defenses were locking everything down against him. But now that Shedeur steps in, wins his first game, and looks better in one start than Gabriel did in several, suddenly it becomes a week-to-week evaluation. Suddenly it's all about needing to see more. All of a sudden there's doubt. This is exactly the kind of treatment that makes young quarterbacks struggle. It confuses the whole situation. It keeps the QB from fully grabbing control of the offense. And it tells the rest of the team that the coaches aren't all the way behind this guy. How is a rookie supposed to walk into the next game with confidence if his head coach can't even publicly commit to him after he won under extreme pressure? How is he supposed to be the leader of grown men when his own coach isn't sure if he should be the one leading? Deion Sanders knows this world better than almost anyone. He played at the highest level and understands what it takes to survive and thrive in the NFL. He knows how fast talented young players can get buried if the organization doesn't give them the right support at the right time. So of course it hits him hard watching his son move through this minefield, especially when it's clear Shedeur is being held to a totally different standard than the person he's competing with. Nobody should be shocked that Deion has been vocal about how unhappy he is with Cleveland's approach. Now let's get into the real problem. The one people keep whispering but won't say out loud. A lot of folks want to dismiss anything good Shedeur does just because of his last name. They see Deion involved and jump straight to the idea that it must be favoritism. They act like Shedeur only got any chance because of who his dad is, and that he can't really be an underdog because he had advantages others didn't. And yes, having Deion Sanders as a father and quarterback mentor absolutely gave Shedeur access to knowledge most young quarterbacks never get. But here's what those critics keep missing, and missing badly. Those so-called benefits people talk about don't help you rip a 52-yard touchdown when a defender's right in your face. Those benefits don't give you the arm strength to drop a ball into tight downfield windows under pressure. Those benefits don't teach you how to read defenses in seconds and make the right move before a defender even blinks. Shedeur Sanders had to grind for every level he reached. He had to beat out other quarterbacks just to earn the starting job at Jackson State. Then he had to step into Colorado and prove himself in a major conference against top-tier programs every week. He had to fight through the pre-draft process, even while scouts underestimated him and acted like his tape wasn't showing exactly who he was. And now he has to prove himself all over again in the NFL. A place where having a famous father doesn't mean a thing if you can't play. This league is full of sons of legends who never made it because your last name can't complete a pass. You either have the talent or you don't, and Shedeur clearly does. He showed it at Colorado, dropping over 3,500 passing yards and 27 touchdowns in his final season. He showed it in Las Vegas, staying cool and confident in his first NFL start, even though everything around him said he should have folded. And now he's about to get another shot to prove himself against the 49ers, a far tougher test than anything the Raiders brought. If he performs again and shows that his Week 12 breakout wasn't some one-time surprise, the Browns are going to have a massive decision on their hands. This 49ers game matters in a huge way. Their pass rush is fierce, their defensive schemes are tricky, and their front seven is going to pressure Shedeur in ways the Raiders couldn't even touch. This matchup is going to show exactly where he stands. This is the moment where we really find out what this kid is built from. Can he handle elite pressure when the heat turns all the way up? Can he read those disguised coverages that only top defenses can hide? Can he make fast, clean decisions when the pocket is collapsing around him like a trap closing? On Sunday, every one of these questions gets answered, and the entire football world will be watching to see if Shedeur Sanders is truly the real deal, or if his first game was just a spark that fades when he faces stronger teams. Kevin Stefanski is probably walking on eggshells with his words because he knows exactly what's at stake. He doesn't want to fully commit to Shedeur, only for the rookie to have a rough outing against the 49ers. That would make the coach look unsure, and Cleveland has had more than enough quarterback chaos already. But here's the truth. Stefanski is making things harder for his own young quarterback by refusing to commit and dragging this week-to-week evaluation storyline. This kind of shaky support creates instability. And instability is exactly what crushes rookie quarterbacks before they even get a chance to grow. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When a young quarterback feels like one mistake could get him benched, he presses harder, plays tighter, and struggles more because he's constantly trying to prove something instead of just playing the game. And that's a huge reason why the Browns have rolled through 42 different starting quarterbacks since 1999. It's not only bad luck or bad draft choices, even though both have definitely been part of it. The deeper issue is that Cleveland has never fully committed to developing a young quarterback. The moment anything goes wrong, they panic. Instead of letting their young players work through mistakes like other successful franchises do, they start bringing in veterans to compete, stirring up another quarterback controversy before the rookie even gets settled. Then they wonder why nothing ever changes. It's because no one can thrive in a system that's constantly shaking under their feet. The Browns finally have a chance to break that cycle with Shedeur Sanders, but only if they choose to. He has the arm talent, the instincts, the composure, and the confidence to succeed at this level. What he needs now is a team that believes in him for real, not halfway. A team that gives him time to grow instead of treating every snap like an audition. He needs stability. A staff that won't make him feel like one off-target throw means he's headed straight back to the bench. With real support, this kid could become the star Cleveland has been searching for decades. Deion Sanders is fighting hard to make sure his son gets a real shot.
Have you been keeping up with Shedeur in Cleveland? What's the best piece of advice you've given him as a dad and as a coach?
Be patient and be ready. You got to be ready when it's time. But when it's time, you're going to know. And it's coming up.
There we go.
You know, I got a prediction. I ain't telling nobody. I got a feeling when it's going to go down. But it's going to go down this year.
It's going to happen. All right.
Yeah, he going to get a shot.
And that's all you can ask for as a player. All you can ask for is the opportunity, right?
Tell me this, because this was all over the media, because I know y'all keep it a buck. That's why I love y'all to life.
Yes.
They made a big deal out of Philly called us on draft day.
Okay.
They didn't mention that. I just let a cat out of the bag.
I didn't know that. Yeah, okay.
Who was it? Baltimore. And the Browns. And the Browns. They forget, I know, I played for Baltimore, so me and Ozzie are cool. So we understood that whole conversation, and he wanted to talk to Shedeur as well as he wanted to talk to me. And I put Shedeur on the phone, and Shedeur, I don't want to say how it went, but how in the world can somebody fault him for saying or thinking, why in the world would I go back up Lamar for 10 more years?
For sure.
I've never sat on the bench and said, well, I learned a lot today.
That is a great quote. God damn, that is a good quote.
He's not out here asking for special treatment or shortcuts. He doesn't want anything Shedeur hasn't earned through work and talent. All he wants is fairness. He wants his son held to the same standards as every other quarterback in the building, and to get the commitment and support his performance deserves when he shows he can deliver. That's not unreasonable. That's basic respect, and that's exactly why Deion is so heated right now. Kevin Stefanski hasn't shown even that simple level of respect. Deion has watched Shedeur silence critics at every stage of his journey. He watched him put in the work, prove himself, and climb past doubters who tried to write him off. So of course Deion thought, even if just for a moment, that maybe Shedeur dominating in his first NFL start would finally earn him the respect he's been grinding for all these years. Especially after Shedeur dropped in the draft despite having the talent to go higher, and after seeing him get buried on Cleveland's depth chart and stuck running the scout team. But instead of real commitment, all they got was more hedging, more evaluations, more uncertainty. It's tiring. The truth is simple. Cleveland is 3-8. Their playoff chances are basically gone. They have nothing to lose by going all in on Shedeur Sanders and seeing what he can do in these last 6 games. If he struggles a bit, that's part of the process. They can still explore the draft or free agency next year. But if he keeps showing the upside he flashed against the Raiders, the Browns might have stumbled into a potential franchise quarterback in the 5th round. And that would be one of the biggest draft steals the league has ever seen. But Stefanski keeps acting like this is still some kind of open competition. Even though Shedeur's performance gave the whole organization and fan base a shot of hope, he insists Dillon Gabriel deserves equal consideration. Even though Gabriel didn't produce much in his starts, Gabriel is a solid quarterback, and he'll probably carve out a long career in this league as a dependable backup. There's no shade in that. It's a valuable job, but Shedeur Sanders has a ceiling Gabriel will never touch. He has the size, the arm, the instincts, and the mentality to grow into a real franchise quarterback. This isn't about disrespecting Gabriel, it's just the truth about who these two players are and where their potential lies. The truth is staring Cleveland right in the face, and everyone in the league can feel the tension rising. Shedeur Sanders walked into the fire, handled the moment, and showed flashes of something the Browns haven't had in decades, a quarterback who can actually change the future. And now, the whole city is waiting to see if the franchise has the guts to finally choose the right path. This isn't just another week of football. This is a crossroads for the entire organization. If they back Shedeur, they might spark a new era. If they hesitate again, they might lose the one shot they've had at a true franchise quarterback in years. The locker room knows it, the fans know it, and even the players on the other sideline are watching to see what Cleveland does next. Coach Prime isn't out here begging for favors. He's demanding fairness, and he's watching everything with sharp eyes. He knows potential when he sees it, and he knows when a team is scared to make the bold move that could change everything. And if Cleveland keeps playing this back-and-forth game, they might push away the one player who actually gives them hope. Shedeur has the arm, the calm, the instincts, and the confidence to stand toe-to-toe with anybody. He proved it in his first start, and he's ready to prove it again if the Browns let him. But now it comes down to one thing. Will Cleveland finally step up and believe in the kid, or will they fall back into the same old habits that kept them stuck for years? No more hedging, no more waiting, no more week-to-week nonsense. If the Browns want to break the curse, this is their moment to take control and back the quarterback who actually gives them a shot at a real future. And if you want the full breakdowns, the behind-the-scenes tea, and the real stories the league doesn't want you hearing, make sure you stay locked in with Huddle Files. They bring all the heat, all the inside talk, and all the raw details every fan needs to stay ahead of the game. This saga isn't over, it's just getting started. Stay tuned, because the next chapter is about to get even louder. And you already know, we'll have every second of it broken down, every twist, every leak, every hidden play behind the headlines. So like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share it out. Stay locked in with Huddle Files, where the real NFL stories live.